to plumb our building. Plumb means that we want to make these walls straight up and down. Now you can use a 6 or an 8-foot level to do that, but a lot of carpenters like to use this 2-foot level. We attach it to a stud at the bottom here, and at the top we put on a 1x extension. That allows us to reach this top plate. Now the most important thing about this plumb stick is to make sure that it's accurate. There's a way to do that. Take it and place it flat against the wall, like this. Put that bubble right in the center. Make a mark here at the top and one at the bottom. And turn that stud all the way over. Put it right on those marks. And check your plumb stick. This one's right on. But a lot of times it's not. A lot of times this level gets beat up, or the plumb stick itself is bent. So what you can do is loosen the level a little bit. Take a wedge, slip it in here at the top, like that, or another one maybe down at the bottom. It depends on which way the stick has to move. Put your tape back on and check it again. It may take 2 or 3 times to get this plumb stick accurate, but the important thing to know is that even though you have a bad level and a bowed stud, you can get it accurate. This away. Starting here in the corner, Joe holds the plumb stick and I use the stud as a brace, with the top end pointed the way the wall needs to move. Every wall needs to be plumbed. Most walls need to rack one way or the other. Then, when it's good, I nail it off. On this wall, I'm using a 1x6 push stick to rack the wall. The bottom end of it is cut at an angle so it can dig into the floor. I've got her. I'm going to nail her off. Once Joe tells me the wall is plumb, I can nail off the braces. This way. That way? Yeah. Okay. Got her? All right, coming in. A little early. The next thing to do is eyeball our walls for straight, moving them in or out. Yeah, that's it. This wall has to come in. I've nailed a 1x6 to the floor and the top plate, and I'm using a short stud as a levering device to bring the wall in. Out here in the garage, the walls have to be straightened, but there's no wood floor to nail into. So I extend a 2x out from the wall plate that I can nail my brace to. Push the wall out a little bit. Got her. It's also important that the header over the garage door is straight. So while Joe sights, I run 2x's to the opposite wall plate and again use a levering device. When everything is good, we let in a 2x4 brace to keep the garage corner square and the header straight. Another way to align walls is by stretching a dry line from corner to corner, and this line is held out 1.5 inches from the wall at each corner. At the middle of the run, Joe checks for straight using a 2x scrap. I push the wall in or out. When it's good, we nail the brace. Well, we have all our walls framed. We can straighten up a little bit and look around. Still got a lot of work to do. This front wall, for example, has a lot of windows in it. We couldn't get in a permanent brace. We'll come back on it later and nail on some plywood shear. Over here in these doors, you'll note we don't have our trimmers in. We like to wait on door trimmers. When we set our door jambs, then we'll get good straight stock. Now, this is a 1-story house, but you might be building 2 stories. So what's the difference? Well, first of all, you have to have a heavier foundation. You got to pour a little more concrete. But this frame, it'll support a 2nd story. And if you know how to build this first floor here, well then you can build a second floor. There's very few differences between a first and a second floor. You know, there really is no big secret to building, especially to building this house. It's a simple one. If you understand how to use tools and understand basic carpentry principles, well then you can build this house. There's a lot of complicated carpentry in the world, and there's a lot of complicated houses, but this isn't one of them. If you learn how to build this house, then you can go on to the more difficult ones.